From the window of the president's bedroom, Don Patrick fired 7 deafening shots from his Desert Eagle into the throng of rebels mounting the front steps of the presidential mansion below. He looked out across the city, and in that moment he knew that everything his government had worked for was lost. He crouched below. The legend said loudly,
"Nabila, all is lost. The rebels are through. They are on the steps. We have to leave for the helicopter, now."
"No, Dan. The hell I'm leaving. I will not surrender to my own son. One of us must die today."
Nabila stood up from his desk and opened the mahogany cabinet behind him. He removed his custom gold-plated AK-47. The sun glinted on its surface and lit his face with a golden flare, revealing a steely expression. He loaded his weapon.
"Rashidi, what do you say? Are you with me?"
the president shouted. Rashidi fired a salvo through the window.
"I am loyal to the end, sir, but we are all doomed if we stay. I say we fall back."
Don Patrick looked towards his friend. Rashidi, crouching now, nodded back. Patrick whirled on his heels and pointed his gun at the president's forehead.
"We are leaving, sir. You can stay if you must, but the helicopter is coming with me."
"Traitor."
Nabila seethed through clenched teeth, his steely expression melting into something irrational, crazed even. The president raised the AK-47 slowly to his shoulder. Rashidi moved from the window and pointed his gun at the president.
"Don't do it, Nabila. At least one of us is leaving you here."
Saying nothing, the president walked calmly towards the window, followed by Patrick and Rashidi's muzzles.
"Goodbye. It's been a pleasure,"
the president uttered. Patrick lowered his weapon and waved to Rashidi, running towards an open door at the back of the room and up a set of metal stairs. The door to the president's bedroom fell flat. As the blistering light of the flash grenade saturated his senses, Nabila swiveled and fired his weapon in vain at the group of soldiers rushing into his bedroom. It was too late. He felt bullets rip like fire through his torso, and falling back against the window he felt life leaving him. His head knocked coldly on the parquet floor. Blood flowed out of his temple and his heart stopped. The Togolese warriors cheered. They had neutralized their target and they were now heroes. However, their cheers were soon deafened by a thick scream that pierced the air. A rocket smashed through the window, incinerating the room and everything in it. Patrick burst through the door at the top of the flight and ran hunched over towards the helicopter, the blades spinning above his head. He climbed into the open side of the vehicle, followed by Rashidi.
"We are leaving,"
he shouted at the driver.
"But sir, I have orders from the president."
Patrick raised his gun over the driver's seat.
"Now,"
he said, firmly. As the helicopter left the ground, Patrick turned his head back into the cargo area. Rashidi sat weeping against a box of ammunition, his head in his hands. Patrick pulled out the mobile phone from his inside jacket pocket and dialed a number. An American voice greeted him cheerfully. He shouted over the noise of gunfire and whirring.
"The deal is off, Charles. It's over."
As he hung up, snapping the phone back into place, he realized his mistake.
"Rashidi, the money. Where is it?"
"It's lost, Dan,"
he sobbed.
"How long do we have before he finds it?"
2 days at the most. It's not worth our lives, Dan.
"Not if I can help it."
Dan whipped his laptop computer from his shoulder bag, opened it hurriedly and began to compose an email.
"Dear Sir, seeking your immediate assistance. Please permit me to make your acquaintance in such an informal manner. This is necessitated by my urgent need to reach a dependable and trustworthy foreign partner. This request may seem strange and unsolicited, but I crave your attention and pray that you view my request seriously. My name is Don Patrick and I am from the Democratic Republic of Congo. I am one of the closest aides to the former president of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Laurent Nabila, in blessed memory, may his soul rest in peace. Due to Nabila's military campaign to force out the rebels in my country, I and some of my colleagues were instructed to go abroad to purchase arms and ammunition worth an unimaginable sum. President Nabila was today killed in a bloody shootout, the day before we were scheduled to travel out of Congo. The funds, for the time being, have been secured in the private security company owned by another former aide to the president, Colonel Rashidi Kassava. The security of the said amount is presently being threatened as we anticipate the arrest and seizure of all properties owned by former government employees. In view of this, we need a reliable and trustworthy foreign partner who can assist us in moving this money out of our country. We have sufficient contacts to move the fund under diplomatic cover to a security company in Europe in your name. The diplomatic baggage will be marked and will not pass through normal custom, airport screening and clearance. Our inability to move this money out of Congo through more official channels is the result of our lack of trust in Western governments, whom we assume to relinquish all ties with the late president and our government. Though we have neither seen nor met each other, the information we gathered from an associate who has worked in your country has encouraged and convinced us that with your sincere assistance, this transaction will be properly handled with honesty and success. The said money is a state fund and therefore requires total confidentiality. Thus, if you are willing to assist us in moving this fund out of Congo, you can contact me through my email address. Please provide me with your telephone number, fax number and personal information. This will enable us to discuss the modalities and what will be your share, percentage, in assisting us. I must use this opportunity and medium to implore you to exercise the utmost discretion in keeping this matter extraordinarily confidential. Whatever your decision, I will await your prompt response. Thank you and God bless. Best regards, Mr. Dan Patrick.